Hello YouTube land, it's Debbie from the Canadian Crotcheter. It is very early, Sunday, July 15th. Very early. And I have to take a few moments just to do this little podcast, or not really a podcast, it's just to show you what I've been up to all week. Because we're having a little Christmas in July get together today. So I gotta get working on that. We're not going all out this year because I just don't have the energy level anymore after I broke my leg. And, you know, you spend a couple of months on your butt. You just don't have the energy. It takes time to build up again. So we're not going all out, but can't wait to see my family. My husband and I don't have very big families, so all of our friends are what we call family. Anyway, I thought I'd show you real quick. Okay, a little while ago, I wanted to do a scarf for a friend who took me to a fiber festival. She was my mule for the day, and she picked this yarn. It's a Mineville wool project. They don't have colorways, they have numbers. Anyway, it's a beautiful superwash wool with nylon yarn. And I think she likes simple things, so I was kind of like stuck on what to make her. I wanted to make her shawl and whatever, but that's not the type of person she is, so I had to find something. And I wanted to make her a scarf that was on the diagonal. So I'm searching and like slanted scarves and diagonal scarves, and couldn't figure it out. And then I thought, well, I'll figure it out on my own. So started researching it and couldn't find any tutorials or anything. So I actually learned how to do this from a knitter. She was basically knitting and talking about it. And it's basically you knit across. Oh, this, by the way, this is it. This is what it looks like. You basically knit across, but you decrease on one end, but you increase on the other end in the same amount of stitches. So if you're decreasing by one stitch, you add a stitch on the other end, and this is what you get. So I was complaining to my husband, and my husband says, did you try using the word bias? Oh, no, I did not. So I went back in and searched Ravelry for bias scarves, and yes, they're there. So I thought I had come up with a new way, but obviously not. I just used the wrong terminology. And there are YouTube tutorials on bias crochet. But I feel very proud that I figured it out without anybody else. So anyway, this is what it looks like. And then all I did was I put a little chain for a little border all the way around. That's my little spunk to a very straight up. Anyway, you get the little points. I don't know if you can see that. So when you get the diagonal, I'm sure you've all seen it. I'm the only one that seems to be like in awe of this right now, but I've only been in the crocheting community for a couple of years. I'm sure all of you seasoned crocheters have seen this, and I think she'll like it. So I have to do this now because she's coming today, and this is going to be a gift to her. Now, I'm going to show you the dud of that, practicing. And you have to really pay attention. You have to count. Make sure you have the same amount of stitches every row. Otherwise, you'll get something like this, where it starts wider. I don't know if you can see it. It starts wider at the bottom, and it gets narrower. So I started with 50 stitches here, and somehow I've got 46 up here. And that's because I wasn't paying attention. But I love the look of it. I love these colors, so I'll probably frog this and redo it. But you definitely have to pay attention that you're adding on one end and decreasing on the other end. So I feel very proud of this right now because I feel like I've accomplished it on my own, even though there are tutorials I didn't use. Anyway, so that's one project that I did. The other things that I did was a whole stack of dishcloths. I was watching Ella from No Catchy Name a few days ago, I think, and she was talking about this Granny RR dishcloth. I think this is the one that she was doing. And so she talked about this pattern, and then when you download it, you get 3 patterns. And I've mentioned before that I don't like working with sugar and cream or Handicrafter, but I got a lot of it, so I need to try to use it up. And so that's what I've been doing. So thank you, Ella. You got me back into the box of cotton. So anyway, the one that she made turned out like this. I love it. It was so easy, like, you know, really easy, and I loved it. It turned out quite nice. And this is the Granny RR dishcloth. It's a free pattern. So I made that. So my goal is to get a couple of these and then give them away today at our Christmas in July get-together. For anybody who wants them, they can take them away. And then in the same pattern, there's this one, which is my favorite, which was the Pineapple Dreams dishcloth. And I made that. I feel very proud of that. This is made out of dishy cotton, which I don't like to use, but this turned out really nice. And I liked it so much that I made this one. I think I'm going to make a whole bunch of them. I love the way they look. So I guess the idea is this is the dishcloth part, and then this is the scrubby part. So it looks like a puff stitch. So you can scrub. So got that done. And then, so there is one more pattern that I did not try yet. It's called the Blue Ribbon Round Ripple Dishcloth. But that's next on my list. But I did play around with my own little design. So I had, a couple years, no, in January we went on I was in Miami and decided to go to Hobby Lobby, and I ended up getting some Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton. Sorry about the noise. My husband just woke up. So he's getting stuff. That's him in there. So I decided to use that as well. I think that this is probably too soft for dish cloths, because this is pretty soft yarn. So I just made that, winged it, and then I mixed the Hobby Lobby cotton with the Lily Sugar and Cream in the black, and I made a hexagon. That'll make a good dishcloth. Again, no pattern. And then I had the Summer Romance Cal, and they had the cotton cakes. So I had a little bit left over, and I decided to make, I guess it looks like a doily, but it'll make a good dishcloth. So I made that, and this one. So, and that's the last of the cotton cakes. So I got a shawl and 2 dishcloths out of it. So got that done. And then I also, a while ago, I learned how to make these pot holders from Margaret Olander. But I don't know what I was thinking. These are that double-sided ones, you know. I did not chain enough chains. And so I'm calling this my microwave pot holder because it's really, really small. So that's all I've been doing. Yeah, I got nothing else to show you. No acquisitions, nothing else that I've done. There are whips that I'm working on, but I'll show them when they're finished. Anyway, I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I got to get going to get ready for this get-together today. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk soon.